My phone.
So I was watching the game last night.
Which one?
The Rockets and Memphis Grizzlies. I like what I see out of my Houston Rockets.
Yes, sir. Let's go, H-Town.
That boy Jalen Green was going at Ja. He ain't ready for Ja yet, but I do like what I see. Ja dropped 49 in 31 minutes, but I like how Green was coming back at him. He ended up with 33, with the youngest team in the league. So I really ain't doing too much tripping. But this is the Just North Sports Show. Y'all wake up on this Saturday morning. Got a lot to discuss. The Christian McCaffrey trade. We got the league championship series going on in baseball. And a lot of good stuff going on. College football rolling right along. Crush Tober. You know what time it is. Dr. Producer DJ King, Dre, Big Kofi jumping back in this thing. What's up, boy?
What's going on? What's going on?
Nothing much. And M Breezy the Don, the historian.
What's happening? Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, y'all come on in there. Where you at, NJ? Come on in with some of that good old commentary. Excuse me. But anyways, like I was saying, the NBA is 2-3 games under the belt, it looks like, for most teams. I like what I see out of Boston. Shout out to Big Kofi. He told me about them last year. Like I said, my Rockets, we might be in position to try to sneak in, maybe the play-in game. But I think
we're gonna shock some people this year, John.
We're playing a lot better. I like what I see. And all you Houston Rockets fans calling for Coach Silas' head, y'all need to get off the gas, like for real. Y'all need to let that go. Steve Nash, they do. If Steve Nash still holding on to that job and he got a loaded BMW and he can't get him to the finals, then don't be calling for Coach Silas' head, and he's taking basically a team from scratch. Y'all need to chill out with all that. It's almost sickening and disgusting. You want the brother up out of there, and he got a locker room full of 19 and 20-year-olds, and Steve Nash been playing soccer for the last freaking 7 years after he retired, and boom, he's just given a Lexus and told not to wreck it.
Well, you know, Doc, the thing about it is we in Texas, and Texas is a self-gratification state. We want it, and we want it now. And that's just all it is to it. If you can't give it to us now, we're going to be upset about it.
Well, you can't microwave a brisket. That's just my thought.
No, and you're absolutely right. And you know me, I'm all about loyalty. So, right. But that's just not how we go in Texas, man. If you ain't showing results in Texas, we're going to replace you. Or we're going to try our best to, as far as the fan bases go. And that's every team in Texas. That's every team in Texas. I don't care if you're a Cowboys fan, a Spurs fan, a Mavs fan, a Rockets fan, a Texans fan. We want results now.
Damn. Sounds like it's unanimous that everybody agrees, man. But I was watching the Heat Celtics game last night till I passed out. It was actually pretty interesting, but I'm just ready for it to really, really kick in full throttle, man. Full throttle. My Braves got dusted up. Got
yeah. Let's go Stros.
Breezy. Yeah,
Let's go Stros. Let's go Stros.
My Braves got dusted up, man. We got polished off, man. It's cool though. I ain't tripping. We got the chip last year. You know, everybody can't win it every year.
It's a new season, baby. I told you, it's hard to win back to back in baseball.
I mean, it's hard. But, hey, that's my squad. I got to ride with them, man. And I know.
I respect that.
That's my squad. I got to ride with them, and I don't hate the Stros. I'm just glad we beat them, and I'm glad we knocked LA out 1 year too. So hey, it was all good. And I see this highlight I'm looking at. I'm gonna shout out that boy, David Hudson. I tell we know who he like him.
Hey man, y'all. You know, I give y'all Houston Rocket fans a hard time because y'all be coming in my Mavericks so tough. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I got to defend my squad. But yeah, man, that Luka the truth.
He is.
Yeah, dude.
I be going back and forth with people about Luka, and he's that dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I kind of feel like right now we in another golden age in NBA basketball. We have so many young, up and coming talent. This generational talent. You know, you just talked about Ja Morant. If you took Allen Iverson and put him on steroids for a few years, then you got Ja.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like Ja Morant he's a generational talent. You're not gonna see another Ja Morant for a while. And
Ja
we ain't
reminds me
seen
of Ja looks like Westbrook and Iverson all in one. I only said Westbrook because of the explosion.
the explosion.
He's
Yeah,
real explosive, but
Speaking of
handle,
Westbrook,
quickness, yeah. West who? I'm glad they're over there with y'all. Thank God.
since I'm a big Laker fan, I mean,
Appreciate y'all,
I
man.
don't know what's going on. I don't know.
Listen, I can tell you what's going on.
It's not like he's old as dirt or nothing. I mean, he's
Ain't-
still
ain't
pretty
that
much in his
dude, bro.
prime.
We got captivated by that triple double. He had a triple double for 3-6. Hey man, that don't mean you.
He's the all-time leader. He's the all-time leader in triple doubles.
Wow.
But
Does that mean he's a great player?
we don't need for him to be the dude in LA. We already got two people that are the man.
And that's
So
the
we
problem.
don't really need that.
Dude can't take a back seat. And he's not a shooter. So what is he? He's a slasher. I can get to the
He
cup.
was a shooter in OKC. I just don't know what's going on.
Shooter.
Hold on. He okay, so here's what so let's back that up real quick. Going back to Ja Morant, I think a better comparison is Derrick Rose. And as I mentioned before, my only concern with Ja Morant is, say, bro, sometimes you got to take that layup. Like, players want to see the dunks and stuff, but just as a hooper, even though we didn't make it to the NBA, on that level, your knees are just not made to explode and just tomahawk dunk 3 or 4 times a game, 82 games a year, including the playoffs. You might end up playing 100. It's just not going to work. So that's my fear. But here's what Russell Westbrook is. He's a combo guard, standing about 6'3", 6'4", has very good explosiveness, but he never really learned to play the true point guard position. And at one point in Oklahoma City, he was hitting the 15, 7-foot jumper off the backboard. It just seems like, I don't know, maybe he stopped practicing that shot. And with time, as your athleticism goes, you're kind of stuck out there, which is what happened to Carmelo Anthony, basically. Once the 3-ball came in and he was a jab step, 15, 17-foot player, he kind of got lost in the wind. So that's my concern with Westbrook.
So my take on Westbrook is I don't think he's happy. I don't think he enjoys coming to work. And I think that's the problem with Westbrook. When he was in the situations where he was happy, he balled out. But you get enough people talking about you, like I think he's depressed. Let me just put it out there. I think when it comes to basketball and his role on the team, I think what we're seeing is not him not having the ability, it's him not there mentally. His heart not in it. You'll miss a layup if you ain't thinking about the layup when you take the layup.
Facts.
Hey man, right.
Facts.
I ain't never been sold on him, man. I've never liked him at all. I always thought he was a very.
Well, you sound like a hater, King Trey.
Hey,
You sound like you got to at least respect the man.
Listen,
Pretty haterish.
I didn't say that I did not respect him. I said I didn't like him as a player. I don't like him as a player. I think he's very selfish.
And you also said you felt like this was the year Tom Brady was going to get hurt. Now, again,
I want to talk about Westbrook. We can talk about Tom Brady in a little while, but Westbrook, he is what you see, bro.
Right.
Let's just hypothetically say he is depressed, or he's going through whatever he's going through.
I want to
feel like I kind of would lean towards saying it's self-inflicted, because nobody would call you West Brick if you didn't go out there and brick every damn thing.
I want to
go out there and shoot these dumb. Nobody's telling him to shoot these shots that he know damn well he can't make. You can't shoot 20. You can't be a 20% three-point shooter.
He can make the shot.
Fire up 15 threes a game.
I think his confidence. It's a little bit what Kofi said, and I think he's lacking confidence.
Yeah.
Because this is not he may not be happy because this is like night and day. Because even when he went to the Rockets, he was balling.
Yeah.
Or Washington.
He balled in Washington.
He was balling. So now you get out here to LA, you're back home. Maybe it's pressure from your family.
Man, it could be a multitude of things, man. But I'm glad you got this clip going.
I'm
a big Embiid fan, baby. Let's go, Embiid.
I want to chime in on Luka real quick and the Mavericks real quick since we got a little interstate rivalry thing going on. I like Luka. I think he's a very, very good player. Just to piggyback off, what Big Kofi was saying, I think we lost Greasy. I may have accidentally kicked him out the studio. That was my fault. But just to piggyback off Luka, he gonna need that number 2. Luka's gonna need that number 2. I was really hoping they would have got that Cam Reddish thing going on, because one thing, like Big Kofi was saying, Texas is a self-gratification state. We want it now. And with Luka being, 23, 24 years old, he's not very old, but the media will turn on you quick. And we know what Luka is. Yeah.
Especially in Texas.
He's a bad European.
Oh,
he's a bad white boy. Like just like Larry Bird was a bad white boy, And that's no shot at, the white players in the NBA. But brothers, if you're a bad white boy, we mean it with props. But my point is I'm trying to make is I don't want Luka to end up stale, and I don't want the media to turn on Luka. Like I've been shooting it with Big Kofi all summer long for like the last 6 months. Like, look, you're the Rocket Snake, but the clear and present danger is right here in Dallas, Texas. So we need defenders and athletes that are about 6'7", 6'8", Tari Eason, good pickup. That's gonna have to deal with Luka, because once they get that Cam Reddish or that true number 2, then it's really, really gonna be trouble. And I don't want anybody to turn on Luka and trash him because he's not getting it done when he don't have the help, and he'll end up smelling like yesterday's hot dog water, and don't nobody want to do it.
Doc, I don't think they'll turn on him because the dude has talent. I think what'll end up happening is he'll be stuck over there, and then he's gonna want out. He'll be like damn near another Kevin Garnett situation.
Right.
KG stayed out there all those years, and it was like, why, bro?
So what I like about what we got going on in Dallas that y'all just haven't mentioned yet is the changes we've made in the front office.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we have a coach who's willing to coach and mentor young players now, which Rick Carlisle was never willing to do. We have a GM that actually has relationships in the basketball world, and he's not a business person trying to run a basketball team as with Don Nelson and his son Donnie.
Mm-hmm.
We got actual basketball people making basketball decisions in Dallas now. And you see that in the fact that we know we got a generational talent, and we not finna sell the farm for people who think we just finna go out and do whatever it takes to get him some help. Because people trying to take advantage of Dallas. They want all Dallas first round picks. They want, they want to hold Dallas to the fire when Dallas go looking for trades. And Nico Collins just not gonna do it. He gonna take his time, and he gonna make the best decision based on what's available. And I respect that about him. And I'm not even tripping on the pieces that we've added. Like low key, we got a nice squad. Christian Woods, I know how you feel about him, Doc, and I get it. I know, and it goes back to what I was saying about Westbrook. If somebody not happy in their situation, you're not gonna see their best effort, and I don't care if they just picking up trash.
Well, I hope we can see Ben Simmons' best effort, because I'm about sick of him, man.
Well, that's a different conversation. You can't take, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut nobody off, but this goes for any professional sport. You can't take a lengthy time away from the sport and expect to just step back in where you was at. It's going to take time to get there. So, Ben, I would say wait about 6 months before you even judge Ben. Because we ain't seeing Ben. We ain't seeing Ben Simmons right now. We seeing Ben Simmons trying to get back there.
I don't mean the hooper. I mean the mentality. I mean his mind, his mental state. That's what I mean. Like,
right on.
Bro, like, don't do that bull crap, because I'm a KD fan, bro. So I rock with I'm rocking with Brooklyn, Houston, and I like Embiid.
Man, pick a team, man. You can't have.
Boy, I almost said something crazy. Well, I got a team. I'm a Rocket fan, bro. But hey, the University of Texas is there, bro. I know you a hater. They was the last team. They was the last team to put up.
Greasy on to something, Dre. He on to something.
Hey, look, check this out. If you ain't playing for my Lakers, I'm not rocking with you. I respect your game, like Luka. Yeah, I see it. KD, I see it, but I ain't
like
about to be like,
KD.
yeah, I'm rocking with the Mavericks, the Nets. Man, I'm not doing all that. You ain't on my
I'm with
squad.
you, Greasy. I'm with you. I'm 100% with you. I can say you a hooper and you play good, but if you ain't playing for the Mavericks, shit.
Hello.
I'm not gonna call myself your fan. I'm not your fan.
Right.
I'm a Mavericks fan.
And then Ben Simmons go to LSU.
Yep. Hey, that's just
all right. Go Tigers.
Hey, that's just how it go. I love basketball. Basketball is my favorite sport. I can get in on some football, but I love basketball. I'm a basketball savant. So if you out there getting it, I'm gonna give you your props. You know what I'm saying? Period. That's just how I operate. But I'm probably the only dude in Dallas that'll walk around with an Astros and Hakeem Olajuwon Houston Rockets jersey and a Rockets hat. So I ain't hard to find if y'all look. Y'all want to hate and all that. I rep the Rockets. I'm a LeBron fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give people props where props is earned.
Hey, I'm gonna be right there with that Houston Texans sweater on. You know what I'm saying? With the sticker on my truck. Yeah, you know where I'm at.
Already.
I ain't hard to find it out.
Already, but right now in the NBA, it's still early. Ain't nobody playing number 2-3 games. Yankees.
Right.
I like what I see out the Warriors. I still like what I see out of Philadelphia. They didn't lost a couple of games, or I think they 1-1, but they lost that game to Boston. They probably should have beat them. I like what they see. And I'm starting to look at Doc Rivers now. I love Doc Rivers. I'm happy he was able to come to the championship, but I'm starting to look at Doc Rivers. They're not doing a whole bunch of ISO for Harden, but he has his moments. But I like Maxey. They got the squad, so we're gonna see what it do. Giannis in the East.
You just now questioning Doc Rivers?
I was about to say, dude,
hello.
At the end of the day, man, that's one cat that we can't make no excuses from, bro.
Man,
he had chance after team after like, bro.
Yeah,
he has not gotten it done since he won that one.
Yeah,
he should at least have about at least 4-5 rings.
At least 4 or 5.
Yeah, and I get all that, but Mike D'Antoni hung around for 20 years. So,
I remember when we picked him up, I was like,
right,
D'Antoni is not that guy, man. He couldn't get Phoenix because even when he coached the Rockets, he set his team up just like the Phoenix team he had.
Well,
and he tried to do the same thing with the Lakers.
And you
listen, when you let your team shoot 1 for 27 from 3, that's a problem.
And you see when Nash got the job that he had no qualifications to get, and the Rockets said enough was enough. You see, he ended up right on the bench, right beside Steve Nash, calling the plays and everything else. So as long as D'Antoni holding on, then Doc Rivers should be able to hold on. Let's criticize D'Antoni the same way and these other coaches around the NBA that's been there for X amount of years. Let's get in that same
absolutely. Heat. None of them get a pass.
Let's get in that same
right, for real.
None of them get a pass.
MLB, the league championship series going on. Astros lead 2-0. And
no Stros.
And it is what it is in the NLCS. The Phillies up 2-1. Astros got the Yankees. I think it's today. Yeah, it's today, Game 3. That's going to be in the Bronx. It's looking pretty good. The Astros look like the most complete team in baseball right now, but Aaron Judge can't beat you. And that Phillies-San Diego game series look like it may go 7. And I'm not counting the Yankees out because baseball is, especially when it comes to October, it's one of those games where every pitch counts, man. And one game and the momentum of a series.
I picked the Stros at 6. The thing about the Yankees, it's the pitching. I mean, I don't know what the media is seeing, but outside of Garrett Cole, who's going to get the ball today to start, the Yankees have nothing. Period. I said Stros at 6. It might be 5 or it might be a sweep. I'm just if the Stros beat Garrett Cole today, the Yankees get swept.
Hey, Big Kobe. Big Kobe, I got something for you. Did you just hear Greasy tell me, "Come on, Dre, pick a team"?
I heard him.
So watch this. You heard him cheering for them Stros, right?
Yep.
Hey, I bet he cheering for them LA Dodgers too, right?
Oh man.
Okay.
Hey, hold on. Wait. Let me set this record straight.
You gonna tell me to pick a team?
Wait. Hold on. Wait. Let me set this record straight.
Okay.
When I was coming up watching baseball, there was no interleague play. There was no. The American League did not play the National League. The only way they would is if they met in the World Series.
What we talking about
now,
right now?
of course, the Astros used to be in the NL West with the Dodgers. Then when Bud Selig got in there, he flipped the Astros to the American League, and that's where we at. So you will find many baseball fans with multiple teams because the American League didn't always play the National League.
Of course, we got
so,
that.
So let me say this: I'm not a baseball fan. It's a good game. I enjoy it, but I'm not a fan of baseball. I rep for the Rockets because I like them better than the Rangers, and I'm gonna root for somebody from Texas.
The Stros.
So I'm gonna go with the Stros over the Rangers just because I'm from Texas and I'm gonna go pick a team. You know what I'm saying? Right. But all the history of baseball, I don't know none of that. What I do know is baseball is a emotional sport, and it's a sport where momentum swings like an avalanche.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
So if the Yankees bats get hot, and they got bats, they got sticks for days. If they sticks get hot, they can walk through it. They can walk through it if they sticks get hot. So I want the Astros to sweep them. I'm hoping for the sweep, but until the Astros is on that plane heading back to Texas popping champagne, I ain't even gonna speak on it for real.
Right. Baseball is it's like I said, it's just it gets real tight.
Yeah, buddy.
When you get to these league championship series and these World Series games, the momentum can switch easily. So until it's done, it ain't over. As you see, Kirk Gibson, that's back in '88.
Yeah,
taking Stewart to the
88, 89.
So, like I said,
Doc, talking about baseball, man, the one thing I do like about them is their All-Star game actually means something.
Correct.
It has real value.
It has value.
Unlike the NFL Pro Bowl or the NBA All-Star, like
Vacation Bowl.
It's all trash. It's like waste of TV.
But
I like the fact that they actually put a meaning to the All-Star game. So like you really gonna get a performance. Like people really out there playing for real.
Yeah, and they do play hard in the All-Star game in baseball. They play hella hard because once again, even
the implications are it means something.
Prior to interleague play, you didn't get to see that picture or unless it was on TV or you picked up a newspaper. So these All-Star games, let's go all the way back to Bo's first All-Star game. So what you want to do is show out.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to come with your best. Mm-hmm. And I've seen All-Star games to where the catcher, you can't do it anymore. Catcher get bulldozed at home plate.
Hell yeah.
You just see, I've seen cats get thrown at because, hey, I didn't see you. I'm just talking about growing up as a kid. Cats get thrown at because it's like, hey, I see you putting up numbers over there, but you ain't gonna put no numbers up over here if you come this way. So baseball is on a different level.
It is.
And it ain't no friendly handshakes and this and that going on like in football and basketball. These guys, I'm telling you, it's different.
And I like the unwritten rules in baseball. Like you throw at my guy,
yes, sir.
We throwing at your guy.
Oh,
and it's almost like it's you don't even have to tell your pitcher, hey man, go ahead and being this dude. Like it's automatic.
It's understood.
Okay.
Hey, baseball real
like
gangster.
The next batter already knows. The next batter already knows he's about to get hit. Like, damn, I know I'm about to get hit. Like he already know it because the pitcher gonna lock him up. Because think about what happens next. As soon as he hit the dude, what happened? The umpire tossed the pitcher out of the game. You out
or give him a warning. Give him a warning.
Yeah, man, he already
because he knows it might be benches clearing.
So,
hey Doc, hold up right quick. I got one for y'all. Best MLB fight.
Oh,
Pedro Martinez.
I'm gonna say Nolan Ryan and
buddy, Nolan Ryan. Boy, that boy charged that pitcher. Thought he was gonna whoop Nolan Ryan, and man,
no, Nolan Ryan.
How we did it in Texas.
Nolan Ryan handled Robin Ventura real quick. I think the 49ers are panicking, and I think Kyle Shanahan is feeling a little heat. The 49ers have basically mortgaged the next 5 years of their future
for Christian McCaffrey
and Trey Lance.
Ooh, Lord, have mercy. Help
Lord
us,
have
God.
mercy.
Just my opinion, this is a panic move because the general manager and the owner, John Lynch, might be feeling a little pressure too, but the owner is his team, so he's not going anywhere. But for Shanahan to pull this move on Christian McCaffrey, he's a good player. It's not Barry Sanders. I think he's a little bit overrated. His usage rate,
A lot of it overrated.
Very overrated.
I think his usage rate is crazy. He'll fit in with.
I don't want to say what it is, Doc, because I don't want to come off wrong. But y'all know what it is. Y'all know where I'm going with it.
Well,
go ahead and go there.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what it is. Another opportunity for Jimmy G to get it done and watch him mess it up. Like he has all the ammo. Basically, this is set up for if nothing else fails, throw it to Christian McCaffrey. In other words, Jimmy G, don't even look downfield, bro, because you're gonna cost us the game. There go your Marshall Faulk right there. He's 5 yards away from you. Throw him the ball and let him get you 20. You can get you 300 yards.
I'm gonna tell you the problem with the Christian McCaffrey trade. He the second best running back on San Francisco team. Debo the best running back on the team.
And see that's a whole nother can of worms. That's why Debo wanted his money like that. And
that's why Debo gonna be gone. And that's why they had to get Christian McCaffrey.
And I told the guys this when Debo was holding out. I was like, look, he wanted his money because he has no business being in the backfield taking jet sweeps. If you had a competent quarterback that can get him the ball on a 17-yard slant, you already see he leads the NFL in yards after catch.
Yep.
So basically, if you get him the ball at 15 yards, he's gonna make some people miss and he's gonna get in there. But you shouldn't be lining that dude up. He shouldn't have to handle the ball like that.
Doc.
He should not.
Let me ask you a question, serious question. I'm being so serious, bro. Do you really believe that Trey Lance can be that guy?
Oh, you asking Doc or you asking who you asking?
I'm asking Doc.
Okay.
Because I don't want to. I just don't want to discredit him because I know he needs to play more football. But just from the little bit of football that we've seen, do you really believe that he can be that guy?
Yeah, I believe he can be that guy. Absolutely. He's made some look, there's plenty of film on Trey Lance. He's made some good throws. He's made some bad throws. Josh Allen, for the first 2 years in Buffalo, I don't want to hear nothing about that. What he had around him and all that. For the first 2 years in Buffalo, Josh Allen was not getting it done. You gotta get this dude some time, bro. It's like he only played 12 college games. He's learning how to play the quarterback position. Absolutely. If Trey Lance was healthy, okay. I'm gonna shoot a question back at you.
You just said something that's very, very.
Hold on, stop before I lose my train of thought here.
Go ahead.
I want to ask you a question. I'm gonna shoot it right back at you. If you give Trey Lance a full year with Christian McCaffrey, Debo, Brandon Ayuk, learning the offense. I'm talking about he just in there. He hasn't got hurt. Do you think this dude is not going to put up numbers?
All right, I'm finna give you the answer. I do believe he will put up numbers, but I think he will be hindered because what they're doing, what Trey Lance will be doing is what I always tell you they do to the black quarterbacks in college. You got your main receiver, Debo. That's who we throwing the ball to. If he's not open, hit the check down, which is your running back. If you can't get the check down, take off and run with the ball. That's essentially what they're doing to your boy Jimmy G right now. That's where they're putting him at. Hey, we got Debo, we got check down. Well, he can't run with the down, but
the reason why
we got check down. He's not that great of a quarterback.
The reason they drafted Trey Lance is because he's a bit better than Jimmy Garoppolo at hitting the deep ball, the intermediate routes. You got to give him some time to learn the offense. That's a complicated offense, and with that running game,
let me chime in.
And with that, hold on one second. And
I'm
with
gonna
that,
come out to you, Greasy.
and with that running game going,
Okay.
with the running game going as what it is, you have to pull your safeties and stuff up. Give him a year.
Hold on, Doc. Are you banking on Christian McCaffrey being like that dude? Like he ain't that dude.
You missing
I
the
hope
point.
you ain't banking
Hey,
on that. I'm seeing it more like Shady McCoy type, but he ain't that guy coming out the backfield every single down. And I don't think he's gonna relieve the quarterback of that much pressure.
He's not going to force.
He might give a little bit, but he ain't gonna give a lot.
You missed everything I was trying to say because you went back to Christian McCaffrey. It's not about Christian McCaffrey.
Oh no, I was asking you. Are you basically saying like with Christian McCaffrey coming over? Oh, it's about to change it up. It's gonna help him out a whole lot more.
Before the segment opened up, I said Christian McCaffrey is overrated.
True.
Right?
Well, let me chime in with something. I think both of y'all are missing, whether it's with McCaffrey, salvaging the future, or with Trey Lance. The big picture in all of this about the 49ers is they're a Super Bowl caliber team. They cannot waste time. This guy should be ready.
No,
this guy should be ready. Period.
I did
because they ready to win.
So we can't. So they can't go back.
I did.
Like, oh, let's wait. No, we got to get Garoppolo in here.
I
because he got us to the promised land before.
I disagree with it. I disagree.
And I will say this. Well. Okay. With that being said, since you disagree, name me a Super Bowl champion in the past that salvaged that team for the development of a quarterback. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. No one in their right mind is going to do that. And I will say this, the 49ers will be drafting a quarterback, let's say like in the 3rd, 4th round this year.
They will not be drafting a quarterback, and I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to tell you why I disagree.
I didn't say 1st round. They're not going to waste but they will draft one in the lower rounds.
Well, number one, they gave away all their draft picks, so they don't have one. What they're going to have to do is they're going to have to trade away somebody. Probably let. Here's what the 49ers do well, and I'm gonna bring this all together. Just give me a second. I'm gonna bring it home like I always do. Here's what the 49ers do well. They draft a boatload of defensive linemen, right? And they end up playing good, right? And they'll get rid of one, right? So they're going to end up bringing in a veteran quarterback behind Trey Lance. What's missing in the point is, and here's why I disagree, Greasy, Kyle Shanahan doesn't have time. The GM has time to develop a quarterback. Kyle Shanahan is feeling the heat. He's like, it's all in now or nothing, because if he doesn't get it done and he knows he's stuck with Jimmy Garoppolo, they're going to be looking like, okay, well, what you doing, boy genius? You got to go. Then some other coach is going to come in, and Trey Lance is actually going to get his time to play because they're not going to draft another quarterback. And then bing, bang, boom, that other quarterback is going to end up winning a Super Bowl with him. So the general manager and John Lynch maybe have a little time. Kyle Shanahan doesn't have time.
So
that's where I disagree with that, Greasy.
I got 2 takes, and I don't think nobody has really touched on it. Dre touched on it a little bit, but I don't think it really was. I don't think anybody heard what he was saying. And so I'm going to say something about Trey Lance, then I'm going to say something about Kyle Shanahan, and they both going to be related to each other. Trey Lance has not yet got it between the ears. It's a lot more to play in the quarterback position than just being able to throw a good deep ball or hit a 17-yard slant.
Right.
You have to be able to manipulate first, you got to be able to read the defense. Then you got to be able to call the right play. Then you got to be able to manipulate the defense if they change up or if somebody look like they finna make a play. The quarterback got to be in control of all of that. He got to see it all. He got to manipulate it with his feet, with his eyes, and then make the play. After he do all of that, he got to make the throw.
Right.
And that's where Trey Lance is lacking development.
So in other words, in a nutshell, he don't know what the hell he doing.
Not at the NFL level, no.
He don't know what he's doing.
And that makes
so that goes back
now.
You don't need basically said.
You don't need a full season and this and that. You know what you are. You know what you got.
No, I disagree.
Well, hold on. Let me make this second point because I think it's gonna tie a knot in the whole a nice little shoe knot in all of it.
Okay.
Kyle Shanahan is a boy genius, but he's also very young and he has no experience developing a quarterback. He can take a quarterback that know what he's doing and teach him how to win, but he can't take a quarterback that still need to learn how to play the position and show him the minutia of the position.
That's an excellent point. That's an excellent point.
And that's why they not meeting. It ain't no middle of the road when you got a student that needs to learn and a teacher that don't know how to teach. It ain't no middle of the road there.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, to piggyback off what you were saying about Trey Lance, with the learning curve that has to go on between the head, it's like, okay, we got all these tremendous athletes that are playing quarterback right now, right? The league is changing. You get more of this, more. Everybody wants a dynamic. Even Josh Allen, like you said, you got to be mobile. Like the Peyton Manning, Tom Brady's holding on, but it's kind of like it's the last of the last. Hold on, hear me out. Daniel Jones is 5-1, and he doing a whole bunch of running. So the dynamic of the dynamic of the quarterback is changing, right? So check this out. You have to give this man a chance to do what he can do. Okay, I think he's played 5 complete games. He's 2-3 or 3-2. He doesn't look like Dan Marino or Patrick Mahomes in their rookie years.
He looks lost.
Those particular quarterbacks are far and few between. It's been 20 years since between Patrick Mahomes and Dan Marino, almost 30 years. That doesn't happen. For the most part, your quarterback is going to sit down and he's going to take his lumps. Troy Aikman, Terry Bradshaw, Josh Allen. Look at these guys. Just look at these guys that have went on to win multiple Super Bowls. Eli Manning. Peyton Manning came out. His first year, I think he was 7-9. He eventually got it together. You cannot throw this man under the bus after 6 games. A lot of y'all would be out of jobs doing that. I put up stats to show what Warren Moon did his first year. He threw almost 60 interceptions in his first 3 years. I'm not trying to hear that this dude does not have what it takes to win, and he's not an NFL level quarterback after 6.
Well, how many games does he need? How much time then? How much time?
You gotta give this dude at least. You gotta give this dude. I'm trying to bring it home. You gotta give this dude at least a full season. He got hurt this year. You gotta give this dude at least a full season to figure out what he is. Now
he's not that smart, Kinfolk. It's gonna take him 2 to 3 years.
You can't say this. You can't say
How long
this.
has he been on the bench?
You can't say this dude. He's been on the bench a year,
but
and he's on
all those quarterbacks you named. All those quarterbacks you named.
Y'all not listening. You're not listening.
No. I get your point.
You asked.
I get your point.
You asked. Hold on. Time out. You asked me how much time, and I'm trying to tell you how much time.
Okay.
Give this man a full year. He needs.
Okay. Give him a full year.
He give him a full.
Okay, I got that. I got it. Now let me.
No. Let me bring it home.
Let me chime in.
Let me bring it home. Let me bring it home, and then we can make an assessment. After next year, let's just say he goes and he plays a full year, and the 49ers go 11-6 or 10-7. Okay, you got something. All right. Now in the second year with these same players and all this good stuff, if he regresses 6-10, 7-9, and they're relatively healthy, then you start. Okay, we got to see what's going on with this young man. After 6 games, I'm not trying to hear anything negative about this dude. Because I made
all right, we got your point.
I made a point the other day. Trevor Lawrence out there, he ain't doing no better. You can't convince me that.
Now let me make a point.
And he was the number one
point.
pick. You cannot convince me that Trevor Lawrence doing any better.
Okay, we got it. We got it. Now let me make a point. All those quarterbacks you named, whether it's Bradshaw, Peyton, John Elway, whoever. After 6 games of tape and film, we saw that. We knew what that was. We knew what that was. Even Tom Brady. That's why the Patriots didn't go back to Bledsoe, who was a bona fide Pro Bowler.
Starter.
Bledsoe, starter, bona fide. We knew what that was after 6 games. So that's why I posed the question, how much time do you give this dude?
But that's Tom Brady.
Because it's time to stop. It's time
Wait.
Stop.
Hold on. What do you mean by it's Tom Brady? What do you mean by it's Tom Brady? What does that mean?
It's Tom Brady. He's one of the best. He's the best quarterback ever.
Nobody knew he was going to be the best.
But what about his first year?
He was the last pick in the NFL draft.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nobody knew he was going to be that.
Right. So he got it. But that's
And when he got his shot, did Bledsoe go back to start?
No, he didn't.
No, he
but
got traded to Buffalo.
It's Tom. Okay, so name another quarterback.
Yes, he did. He got traded.
Okay, I get it. So name another quarterback that's done that in the history.
Steve Young.
Steve Young played in the USFL.
Russell Wilson.
Hold on, hear me out. Steve, you can't use the Steve
Russell
Young.
Wilson.
You can't use the Steve Young analogy. He played in the USFL for 3 years. He sat behind Joe Montana for almost 5 years. Steve Young was a 10-year veteran playing pro football.
No. He played in Tampa Bay. He played in Tampa Bay, and Bill Walsh made the trade for him.
He went to the USFL, then he went to Tampa Bay, then he sat behind Montana for 4 years. Steve Young didn't get the reins until 92. He came out of BYU in 81. That's 11 years of pro football.
And what happened to Montana? What happened to Montana?
After 11
Montana got
years.
traded.
After 11 years.
Montana got traded.
Greasy, after 11 years of Steve Young learning pro football. So you can't say
you don't need
you
don't need a whole football season to know what it is.
You just gave an example.
Wait a minute.
You just gave an example of a quarterback that won a Super Bowl finally after 11 years, and you're saying that Trey Lance, how much time do you need? Well, hell, how much time does Steve Young get?
Well, give Steve Young is out the league. Why are we even talking about that?
It's just an example. And then hold on, check this out. Here go my boy Charlie Gaddy. Shout out to Charlie Gaddy in the Oklahoma City Thunder. Everybody, let me ask a question. Everybody agree Josh Allen is a good QB?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Josh Allen is a good QB.
Here goes hold on, check this out. Here goes some stats for Josh Allen first season. 10 touchdowns and 12 interceptions.
Okay.
And look what he turned into.
But we knew what it was after 6 games.
Nobody's talking about touchdown to interception ratio. We're talking about, can this guy get on the field, read the damn defense, make the right call, make the check down, know what's going on.
If you look at Josh Allen's stats his first year, obviously he was struggling.
Answer this.
It doesn't matter if he was struggling.
Answer this for me.
We knew he was going to be
Answer this for me. Answer this for me. Before Trey Lance got to the NFL, before he even got to the NFL, how many football games did he start in?
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to bring home the point.
But no. I'm not saying it like it's a good thing. I'm not saying it like it's a good thing. The cream rise to the top. I don't care if you're in high school, college, or the NFL. If you good enough to be the starter, you're going to be the starter. The reason he wasn't starting games. The reason he was not starting games is because he was not good enough.
Okay, so let me shoot this back.
Thank you. My point.
Hold on. Let me shoot this back at you, Kinfolk. Who was named the starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers week 1? Trey Lance. Yeah. So there go that question. Obviously, he was good enough to be the starting quarterback, right?
Was he really good
after that first game?
No, was Jimmy. They were talking about he was good enough to be the starter.
What'd you say?
No, and they were talking about pulling him after.
Wait.
They were talking about pulling him. No, he started the second game. No, they was not. He got hurt. Jimmy G didn't even.
No, I'm talking about after that week 1 game when they lost to Chicago. The report was the 49ers going back to Jimmy G. It just so happened the guy got hurt. And so they didn't even have to make that decision.
They didn't
have to make it anymore.
That was just banter. That was
you cannot start 12 games in college. I don't even hear nobody talk about his high school resume and expect to be a starter in the NFL.
Bro,
man, are you serious?
Division I colleges.
Trubisky did. He only played 1 year at North Carolina. And look what that is.
Division I
Trubisky only played 1 year.
Trash biscuit.
And he sucks.
Trash biscuit. Okay,
and he's still starting in the NFL. Y'all need to cut this dude some slack. And to your point, Kinfolk, Big Kofi, most Division I colleges want Trey Young to play tight end. You know what he told them? Stick it.
He told him
maybe he should have played tight end.
He played cornerback like they tried to make him a cornerback. But what I was going to ask you was this: Trey Lance beat out Jimmy Garoppolo? Huh?
Exactly. Let's laugh it up.
That is not hard. That is not hard, bro. If we're looking at their stats right now, Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance is barely better than Jimmy Garoppolo.
They the same dude. They the same dude at the
The
end
only
of the day.
difference, though, the difference
The
between the
stats
two
are
is
similar.
Trey Lance is faster. He has a bigger
No,
arm.
I'm gonna give you another difference.
That's it.
I'm gonna give you another difference. I'm gonna give you another difference. Jimmy Garoppolo is a little bit smarter.
No, he's not.
Hold on, Big Kobe.
Yeah.
When
I'm
it-
gonna have to
when it
agree with
comes-
Ken.
when it
folks on
comes
that
to
one.
footwork,
I
I
have to
don't know, bro. I don't know about that one,
when
man.
it comes to footwork and reading the defense, he got
Bro,
the
you
leg
can't-
up on that dude.
Hell
Nah,
no.
he ain't a little more
Have you
smart.
seen this bone? Have you seen the bonehead game? Like, think about
Now
this.
let me parse this. I do not watch a
Yeah,
lot of
I
San
knew it was
Francisco.
coming.
I do not watch a lot of San Francisco, so
Now,
no, I have not
man.
seen a
Now,
lot.
time out.
Jimmy
Big.
Garoppolo was
Time out
game
there,
for
folks. You
turning
mean
the, turning the
look at
ball
this.
over at the
Look at
wrong
this.
time.
Look at this. You mean to tell me this dude is smarter? I got three uninterrupted moments of Jimmy G throwing bonehead interceptions. This is just for your pleasure. That's a force. 3 dudes over there.
That should have been a catch.
Now watch this. What's this excuse? Oh, that's smart. It's 5 dudes
No,
back.
that was bonehead.
There's
Yeah,
one
I
coming
remember
up.
that one.
There's one coming up. I can't watch this one. Here's the beauty. That's 3 dudes right there. He's smarter with the football.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
why I
buying
said I can't go along with that one.
I'm not buying that.
Hell no.
Here go another one. He can't even. That's a slant.
Well, I'm
Okay.
by it.
Harrison,
Okay, so they got 2 trash quarterbacks.
Harrison Smith lurking in the robber. He threw it right
Exactly. Too trash.
Okay, you
There's-
got me. You got me.
There's a throw. There
Look,
was
I'm not a Jimmy G fan, and
There's
I'm
a-
sorry that I sounded like one.
Right? I ain't no
Yeah,
Jimmy
yeah.
G fan either.
Yeah,
Both
yeah,
of them
yeah.
are.
I'm sorry that I sounded like one.
Hey, but hold on. Back to what I was
He's
saying.
not
So
smarter
that's
than
who
you.
Trey Lance beat out.
I agree
y'all.
with you, Ken, folk. I'm not a fan of him either.
That's who Trey Lance beat
That's
out.
who Trey Lance beat it. That's who
Come
Trey
on, bro.
Lance. That's who
That's
Trey.
not hard to,
That's
not
who.
hard to beat out. is
That
what
ain't
I'm
no
saying. That's not hard to beat out.
Hey,
No competition.
Good point,
Well-
King. Good point, King.
well,
Good point.
that's who Trey Lance beat out. That's who
49ers
Trey.
are relevant, and the spotlight is bigger.
I really think the conclusion is they shouldn't have never drafted Trey Lance.
Sounds about right.
Hello.
They needed
That
to do.
sounds right.
They needed to do something because Jimmy G was as far as he was going to go. We saw it. Okay,
But-
good
but
run.
here's the thing,
They-
they drafted a guy that only played 12
get
college
it.
football
We get
games.
it. And that's more so to back what Big Kofi was saying. That's on Shanahan, who does not know how to develop a quarterback. He knows how to develop a running game. That's on the coaching staff, and that's on Trey Lance to get better. I'm not making excuses for Trey Lance, but my point I'm trying to make is after 6 games, man, I ain't trying to hear that.
Hey, what do the NFL stand for? Not
Yeah,
for long.
Not for long.
You
Like,
gotta get it.
at the end of the day, man, it's like it's just reality, man. He's got to get in that playbook. He's got to get in that film room. He's gonna have to make up why he's sitting down, rehabbing or whatever he got going on.
Yeah,
He got to
definitely.
develop that way because
definitely,
it's got to
definitely.
translate to the field.
Whenever you come into the game late, I don't care what the game is, what you're doing in life. If you coming in late, you're gonna have to put in that extra time. You're gonna have to burn that midnight oil.
Oh yeah,
Switch up.
definitely. He
You're
gonna
gonna
have.
have to.
I'm not disagreeing with anything you guys are saying as far as what he's gonna have to do to play quarterback at this level. I'm in disagreement on jumping the gun and the question marks.
Well, but Greasy has a point though. It's kind of like I'm gonna just piggyback on the Tom Brady thing. When Tom Brady came in, remember, Mr. Irrelevant starts his game, and nobody knew what they was gonna get. I mean, I was a big Brady fan. He went to Michigan, of course. But what
Okay.
did he do? He came in, he did his thing, and he never came off the
Wait,
field.
King Drake, hold on. You a fan? You know what did Tom Brady do in Michigan?
He balled in Michigan. He wasn't.
No, I mean, was he a starter?
Yeah, he started.
Yeah. He started.
Did he start more than 1 year?
He
Yeah,
wasn't. Yeah.
Oh,
He wasn't the greatest, but I get what you're saying though. I get where you're
do
going.
you hear? Okay,
At
so
the end of the day, Shanahan made the wrong decision picking a guy who only played 12 games.
of starting yeah, exactly, bro. You
Played
can't.
12 games.
That's not gonna
It's
make
like,
an NFL
So this guy
quarterback.
has. So what I would take from that is the guy he has not developed, and that's what Gaddy is saying. You know, he needs time to develop.
yeah.
That's
this
like taking
point-
somebody who's 17, 18 years old, just got their driver's license,
Okay.
and putting him behind the wheel of a NASCAR.
Okay, so let me ask you this question: How do you get better in real? I'm not talking about throwing screens in 7-on-7s, and I'm not talking about preseason. How do you get better at real live action in the NFL. You got to be out there. You got to be out there. And he's only played 6 NFL games. And this analogy to Tom Brady is like,
Here's
again,
the thing, though, Doc.
it's a thing.
This is a Super Bowl caliber team.
They're trying to win now.
You can't experiment. We can't be out here playing around like
No.
a chemist.
You're missing.
Y'all
missing the point again. Kyle
Shanahan, in order for him to get better, he's got to play. He's got to play.
That's not what I'm
Super Bowl,
and it's not really on Shanahan.
That's not
quarterback coach.
That's not what I'm saying.
Coach and the offensive coordinator.
That's not what I'm saying, King Dre.
Fields is hold on right quick. Fields is trash.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that the 49ers don't have time. Shanahan doesn't have time. This is a head. There's a dip. The head coach and the GM is not going anywhere. This is our show, right? This is the Just North Sports Show. This is our show. We're under no pressure to do whatever. We got time, and we can put together as much resources as we can to make this successful. Now, if we hire somebody to produce and run highlights and all that stuff, and the numbers ain't getting no better, or we're not doing whatever, then us as a group come together. Hey, this dude got to go. That's the aspect I'm looking at it from.
So if you look at it from that standpoint, then you got to go all the way back to the crazy, ignorant, non-informed mofo that drafted a guy that only played 12 college football games.
That's
said this guy is going to be the future of our team.
That's the GM, right?
No,
this the next person.
No, don't the GM make the draft picks?
That's why I said Lynch may be under a little pressure. Shanahan is under a lot of pressure.
Trey Lance is under pressure.
Trey Lance ain't under no pressure. They didn't
because if he don't get it done, guess what they gonna do to him?
He got that dude ain't going nowhere, man.
Doc, me and you had this conversation a few weeks ago, and I'm gonna go back to my original statement. Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Mitchell Trubisky, trash. All of them, trash. Wow. That's just all it is to it. I don't care if they did get drafted high. I don't care who they.
I'm not jumping. Trash. I'm not jumping the gun. I'm not jumping the gun on Trey Lance and Justin Fields because, like I said, Trevor Lawrence out there doing the same thing.
Trash.
Mitch Trubisky.
Ain't nobody letting Trevor Lawrence make it.
Mitchell Trubisky still got. Mitch Trubisky by default is still starting in the NFL, right? And then y'all keep bringing up Tom Brady. And y'all still can't answer this question. Name one person in the history of NFL that has pulled off what Tom Brady is doing. Just took over after an injury and just
nobody.
So that's rare. That's what I keep trying to tell y'all. The Dan Marino, the Patrick Mahomes, those type of seasons are the
that
exception.
Is not true. Here comes the NFL historian. That is not true.
It's not.
That is not true.
It's not.
The 1980 Raiders. The 1980 Raiders, they traded for the quarterback for Houston. He got hurt. Jim Plunkett came in the middle of the season and took the Raiders all the way to the Super Bowl, first wild card team to win it, and then won it again in '83. So there you have it.
What year was Jim Plunkett drafted, Breezy? Hello? Anybody know what year Jim Plunkett was drafted? And he finally won a Super Bowl in 1980.
Barely know who that dude is.
Jim Plunkett was drafted in 1976. So therefore, he had 4 years. I want y'all to name a quarterback beside Tom Brady that took over after 5 games and just took out running. And nobody can answer that.
Well, I mean, you had your Patrick Mahomes and your Russell Wilson. They didn't have to take over after 5 games. They figured it out in training camp.
Well, hell, if that's the case, didn't Cam Newton go to a Super Bowl?
He did.
Cam Newton came out in 2010. The Panthers finally made it to the Super Bowl in 2015.
But we talking about the Panthers. We talking about the player.
But there was no question about Cam being a starter either. Like there was no.
He wasn't. But there
was no debate.
And it still took him 5 years to get to the Super Bowl.
But there was no debate. We debating whether or not Trey Lance should even be starting.
The context is the time it takes in general for a quarterback to be developed into a championship level quarterback.
Okay, so in my disagreement with you is in a year, you still gonna be looking for Trey Lance. In 2 years, you still gonna be looking for Trey Lance. It's gonna take at least 4 years for this dude to become something like.
I disagree.
Okay.
I strongly disagree.
Well, we can revisit this next year.
We will revisit it next year. God bless Trey Lance.
It ain't gonna do us no good to revisit next year because he hurt.
He'll be back next year.
He ain't going back on that field, man.
He will be back. He will be back next year, and he's gonna be starting next year.
If he don't play football
it ain't gonna do us
again
no good to
this
talk about
year,
it next year. We're gonna have to wait till the year after that, after he play.
Yeah, that's
We're
true.
gonna talk about it before he play. Hell, we still ain't seen him play. The problem is you can look at Peyton Manning. Hell, you can look at your boy from the Chargers. I always forget his name, man.
Justin Herbert.
No, the one before that.
Phillip Rivers.
Like all these dudes, when they came into the league, they came in, they got thrown into the fire. We're gonna see what you got.
Matthew Stafford.
Matty Ice. We're gonna see what you got. And they performed. They might have struggled, they might have had their woes, but they still performed.
All them dudes was starting quarterbacks.
These dudes got game. Okay, he's struggling a little bit here and there, but he still can get it done.
Hey, they were starting quarterbacks in high school.
In that same category.
They were starting quarterbacks in college.
You can't put Trey Lance in that same category because we haven't seen enough of him.
You think ain't nobody? We haven't. But he's played football his whole life.
Not in the NFL. You can't judge.
That's not a.
There's not
an argument, bro.
There's not enough evidence out there yet. That's the whole point I'm trying to give y'all. There's not enough evidence out there. Good.
My point
is what we're saying is if he was good enough, we wouldn't have to have this conversation.
He's hurt, Dre. You can't have nothing to do with getting good enough. He's hurt.
That he played, in the 5 games he played, we'd have been like, oh, he got something.
Doc, Kinfolk, you are ignoring the evidence that came before this. Before he even got to the NFL, there's evidence out there that he wasn't good enough to be a quarterback.
He beat your Texans last year. He beat the Cardinals last year as a rookie. With all these flaws, he beat the Cardinals and the Texans last year.
I'm not saying he's not a talented dude. I'm saying he's not ready to be an NFL starting quarterback.
He's beating the NFL's level teams on a 40 to 60% basis when he's out there. What do you mean he's not good enough? He's winning.
You saying 40 to 60 on 5 games played? Well, yeah, the numbers don't look like that.
That's kind of my
and I love my Texans. I love my Texans.
Time out.
But sitting up here and saying you beat the Texans these last couple of years, that's not nothing to brag on, bro.
Okay.
It's not nothing to brag on.
Time out. I love what Dre just said, and I'm gonna tell you why. Dre said he's only played 5 games. Trevor Lawrence has only won 5 games, and he's going into a full year 2.
And he sucks.
Okay.
He trash.
Okay.
And he about to stink it up even more because they just
lost. Where's the narrative besides me that had to bring it to y'all that had to bring it up to the attention during the thread?
Wait, Doc, I'm down for talking out, but you always want to shut me down. No, man, we ain't talking about that. We ain't talking about that. We can talk about Trevor Lawrence all day. How many times have I said when I brought up the whole fact that Colin Kaepernick could be playing in the NFL because you got dudes that's playing in the NFL right now, backup quarterbacks that suck.
Nathan Peter, here, let me drop this nugget out.
Man.
Let me drop
this. Please don't say Nathan Peterman.
Hold on. Let me drop this nugget off about Nathan Peterman. Don't you know the year Colin Kaepernick got blackballed, and the year he came back, or the year before he got blackballed, and they was talking about his QBR and his rating and how bad he was. Don't you know Nathan Peterman was still a starting quarterback in the NFL? And it was some crazy stat out there that if Nathan Peterman basically took the ball, another quarterback could have basically took the ball and threw it into the ground for a full season and still had a better QBR than Nathan Peterman had that starting year. That's ridiculous. That's insane. And I cannot comprehend for the life of me how after 6 games, he don't got it. But Nathan Peterman is a starting quarterback, and Andre Hurd could have walked up to the NFL for the Houston Texans and took the ball and spiked it into the ground and had a higher QB rating than Nathan Peterman, who was a starter in 2017. I cannot make that make sense to me, and I'll leave the whole Trey Lance thing alone. I'm waiting. I got all day.
I'll make something make sense to you.
Now, I want you to make that point I just made make sense to me.
I can't.
Exactly. So that's why I stand firmly on by what I'm saying. We don't have enough evidence out on Trey Lance. Get this man the time. Get this man some time. Come on, man. Lighten up.
He didn't have the whole life.
Nobody's saying that he doesn't deserve a few more games.
You just said less than 30 minutes ago he don't got it after 6 games.
I don't listen. From what I've seen, the little bit that he's played, yeah, he ain't that dude.
Okay.
And I agree with him. But I ain't got no football team to put nobody. I really don't care what they do with Trey Lance.
What was y'all remember the stats I posted? What was Warren Moon's record in his rookie season? 3-13. Now, if I would have told y'all that was Warren Moon, would y'all have gotten rid of?
Yes.
And you would have been fired. What about you, King Dre?
Probably so.
No, I wouldn't have, because it took.
No, you would have got fired.
It took Warren Moon 6-7 years to get to the point
so
people was like, we want Warren Moon.
Okay. So my question again is why is Trey Lance can't get it done after 6 games, but Warren Moon got 6 or 7 years before people realized who he was? That's the point I'm trying to bring home, gentlemen. Nothing else. Nothing else. All this other stuff is just for debate and just for argument. My point is, it took 6 or 7 years, and Warren Moon's got that grace. And Warren Moon to me, time out. And Warren Moon to me is top 3-5 pure passes in NFL history. But he was afforded 6 or 7 years in the dummies, and in the NFL wanted to turn him into a defensive back. But after 6 games, Trey Lance ain't it. And I ain't trying to hear it. Make that make sense to me, and I'll leave the Trey Lance argument alone.
I'm gonna let you go, Greasy. What you got?
I want to hear what I want to hear what Big Kofi got to say about that point I just made.
All right, I say it like this. You know how you got talent and you see a person and be like, ooh wee, that dude got something. He's something special. You can see it. I don't see that with him. I don't look at him and say, man, he gonna be something special. Just watch. Even though he got hurt, he gonna be something special because he don't light me up like that. I don't see it and be like, yeah.
So after 60,
it's not about the length of time. It's just the fact that when you see something, you ain't never seen the guy and be like, ooh.
So convince me after 59 interceptions in 3 years of professional football, you still thought Warren Moon had something, or was it because you was an Oilers fan and you wanted to see him do good? Now take you being an Oilers fan out of consideration. After 60 interceptions in 3 years, can you wholeheartedly and earnestly and objectively say you knew Warren Moon was going to be what he was going to be?
No, I cannot.
Exactly. So where's this? Okay, so
we're talking about today's NFL, not to then's NFL. So in today's NFL, I look at him and I look at other people and I go, yeah, I don't see that wow factor. I don't.
But you saw it with Warren Moon.
So to my point, Warren Moon started. He actually won a starting position in high school as a junior, and he started in college. So Warren Moon had a lot more collateral in the game that bought him that time to develop into an NFL quarterback.
That's a good point.
Trey Lance don't have a resume before he got to the league.
That's fair.
He hasn't played, and I mean, man,
that's fair.
We not talking about, bro. We talking about an NFL football team.
That's
you can't, like, you have to have some type of foundation. Like when you in high school and they teaching the quarterback position, they not teaching the same skills that they're gonna be teaching in college. You have to build on that foundation to get to the level of an NFL quarterback. And Trey Lance ain't got no foundation.
That's fair. That's a fair synopsis.
That's what he
already said that though. He been saying like the dude resume not long enough. So it's like why did they draft this guy to be the future and he has nothing. Like it's pretty much, it sounds like to me it's like Trey Lance is starting.
Now, if they would have stuck to their guns and left him on the bench and actually allowed him to develop and practice running the scout team, then maybe
he's been on the bench for a whole year doing the same. He's been on the bench doing that already though. He's been on the bench already doing
bro,
it.
A year ain't gonna make up. A year ain't gonna make up for the 16 years he missed before that. A year on the bench in the NFL ain't gonna make up for
how much time.
But he's not gonna get no better running scout team. He got to get out. He got to get out. Look, Von Miller gonna have to get after his ass. Myles Garrett gonna have to get after his ass. Bosa's not trying to kill him.
That might be the wrong thing for him, Kinfolk.
I don't think you get no. Okay, let me use an analogy.
Okay, so pressure. When you talking about pressure, he need that pressure so he can become a diamond. Everybody ain't a diamond. Some people pipes.
But we don't know. We don't know.
Right.
The only way to
We
find
don't know.
Let me use an analogy. Okay, it's game 7 of the World Series. Big Kofi. I know you ain't batted all year. But you got to get out there and you got to hit this. You got to hit this single or double to clear the base, or we finna lose this World Series. Well, damn, Skipper. Well, damn, Doc. You ain't gave me no time. And you want me to do this today, like right now?
We about to lose this World Series then.
Yeah, but we gotta.
You gotta be praying to God at the same time because it's gonna take some heavenly help.
Okay, and I say, hey, this guy's got a nasty slider, but you ain't never seen it. I can tell you, hey, it's gonna look like it's gonna hit you in the face, but it's gonna drop at your right shoulder, and it's gonna be a strike. And I can tell you that all day long, and you can still go up there and strike out. But that next year, you didn't see that same picture 10 times because y'all in the same. You didn't see that same picture 5 times because of interleague play. The next year, when you're in the World Series, I ain't got to tell you, and you knock that bitch out the park. And you
that's a long ass hypothetical.
It's a fair analogy. What I'm trying to say is,
what you saying is Trey Lance ain't seen this defense. He ain't seen this pressure. He ain't seen this coverage.
I'm saying you got to get a dude. I'm saying you got to get a dude time to learn, man. And he's not gonna learn by running 7-on-7s and in 2-a-days.
So then it goes back to what I initially said.
He's got to stay healthy, basically.
49ers for drafting him because they knew Jimmy G was not the future, and they drafted the wrong quarterback for their Super Bowl built team.
You can't say that they drafted the wrong quarterback. He
can't get him to the Super Bowl right now.
Jimmy G got him to the Super Bowl, bro. You can't say that.
Got him to the Super Bowl. All Jimmy G did was hold it down and manage the game for him. The defense got him there.
And in that case, Trey Lance can do the same thing because you just said Trey Lance is the same quarterback, right?
Barely better.
He's barely better. So with what you just said, and the defense getting him to the Super Bowl, and Jimmy G got him to the Super Bowl per se, Trey Lance can't get it done. I have a hard. You're not making any sense to me.
Is Trey Lance on the field?
He's hurt, Drake.
We can't get nothing done.
We understand that, but that's just the go-to because what you're saying is not making sense. Hey, you're saying on one hand, well, Jimmy G got him to the Super Bowl, but Trey Lance is a little bit better, but he can't get it done.
Wow. I didn't say that Jimmy G got him anywhere. I said the defense got him to the Super Bowl.
Doc, let me ask you a question.
All right.
What's normally going to be the outcome if you put somebody in a contact sport and they not prepared? What's the most likely outcome?
They're going to get embarrassed. They're going
to get hurt.
That too.
Yeah, you get hurt. I mean, not really. I mean, okay, I see what you're saying, but I don't see what you're saying. Okay, let's go back to the Troy Aikman example. What happened to Troy Aikman in 88, 89? He was getting his head beat in. Philly was sacking this dude like 9 or 10 times a game. Troy Aikman eventually went on to become a Hall of Fame quarterback, and he won 3 Super Bowls. So I'm trying to get the point home to you guys that these analogies that you bring, I'm trying to bring up these points that the analogies that you guys are using, like Tom Brady, that's a one-off. Russell Wilson, that's a one-off. We've been playing football for almost 80 years. So you're going to have an example where a dude just come in and he picks it up and he shines. But for the most part, you look at Eli Manning, you look at Troy Aikman, you look at Elway. Well, now Elway came in and lit it up. But it's been a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL. They didn't understand what they was doing. And I ain't heard from Greasy since he brought up Jim Plunkett, and I brought up the fact that he had 5 years and he ain't showed back up.
I think Greasy just talking about Trey Lance. And I feel
played with Troy Aikman? I'm just curious. Who he win them Super Bowls with?
With a team full of Pro Bowlers.
Oh, that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
And to me, Troy Aikman was a subpar, above average quarterback.
But he won, right?
He had, what did he have on his team? The guy that's the all-time lead rusher played with him.
Okay, we get that.
Yeah, Michael Irvin.
Okay, but
he had a hell of an offensive line. I mean, let's not act like he just didn't. I feel like if you could have taken, like we said all the time, if you removed Emmitt Smith from that offense and you put Barry Sanders back there, what would happen?
That has nothing to do with nothing. The point
I was getting ready to say was you could take Troy Aikman off that from quarterback and put another quarterback
Trey Lance in there.
Throw the ball, and he'd have done the same damn thing.
That has nothing to do with nothing. You missed the whole point about 1988, 89, and 90 when Troy Aikman got his head beat in, and he still had a good offensive line. He still had Emmitt Smith, and he still had Michael Irvin. And he was still going 1-15. And he was still getting knocked out.
How many times did they go 1-15?
Philadelphia. I remember his first year they went 1-15. How many times did they
go 1-15?
They went 1-15, right? One time, Drake. But your point is you're missing. He had 3-4 years of losing, and the Eagles, I swear to God, I thought they was gonna kill him. And he still had those same. He had a good offensive line. He had Emmitt Smith. He had Michael Irvin, and all that good stuff. And he finally started winning. So you can't say that the like I said, the analogy.
We just don't think that Trey Lance got it, and you do. That's just really what it is. We don't think he's that dude. You think he's that guy.
And I'm saying both of y'all will be fired based off what is happening normally, not the exception.
Well, first of all, I wouldn't be fired because I wouldn't have picked him.
Period.
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't have picked him.
I get it.
Period.
Do you think he was worthy? I mean, by all means,
I would have picked a pass rusher. I would have picked somebody else. I wouldn't have picked him.
Like what made them say we're gonna get this experiment? Because that's an experiment.
Because
an experiment.
Because what they had under center was gonna get them as far as where they went.
Okay, so what we all know is this: Jimmy G is not that guy, right?
Right.
So the next guy that I'm looking for, I want him to be that guy.
No,
I don't want him to be a project.
What? No, you don't.
This is a not for long league, and you're talking about the pressure, right? You're talking about John Lisnum got pressure, right?
But the guy was already gone. The so to say guy was already gone, which is Trevor Lawrence, who ain't doing that. Excuse me, who ain't doing that much better. There was no D guy. Trevor Lawrence,
and there still is no D guy out of that whole
draft. Out of that draft class, right? So you can't say, well, let's pick Trevor Lawrence or let's pick Justin Fields.
No. I didn't say pick any of. They could have found a vet somewhere.
I wouldn't have went quarterback at all with that position.
Else. They could have found a better veteran, and then we'll draft a quarterback in the next round, in the next draft or something.
So here's what I'm thinking. And we're gonna go.
I'm really saying, I'm like, wow.
And here's what I'm thinking, and we're gonna go and slide up out of here. Jimmy G, we know what he is. We know what he's gonna do. We ain't even got to go into that. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna take my chances with this project, and I'm gonna gamble on this running game and this defense. And Trey Lance gonna be able to do what he do, and we either gonna get the same results or we either gonna win it. That's the thinking. Now, that's the thing.
And I get it. I totally get it, because what they're gambling on is the legs.
No, they're gambling on. I wouldn't say necessarily that they're gambling on his legs. I think they're gambling on what you said. He's right now. He's a little bit better than Jimmy G. So 3 years from now, he's gonna be way better than Jimmy G. You feel me? I think that's what they gamble. I think that's what they gambling on. With that being said, I ain't trying to hear nothing about this dude ain't got it after 6 games. But like Big Kofi said, he tired of talking about Trey Lance. That was just a little conversation. I think the 49ers mortgaged the farm with Christian McCaffrey and Trey Lance. And
we agree on that.
And Kyle Shanahan. I think this is more Kyle Shanahan. I think Kyle Shanahan's seat is scorching hot. I think John Lynch is a little bit warm.
I agree with that.
He's a little bit warm in the britches, but the owners, he ain't going nowhere. It's his team. He got all day to see what Trey Lance can do. But we're going to slide up out of here. It's been a good show. Big Kofi, appreciate you joining, man. For real, on short notice.
Oh, man, I always enjoy it. Appreciate the invite.
Already. And King Dre down for a good debate, and Greasy already down for a good debate. So we're going to slide up out of here. But that's every Friday night, 8 p.m., Anchor FM, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Y'all be easy. Y'all enjoy the Saturday. This is the Just North Sports Show.
Hey, y'all watch them Mavs and them Grizzlies tonight. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all don't want to, but y'all check them out.
The Mavs out here.
Oh, we ain't worry about them.
You know you're gonna watch that game, King Dre. I hear you.
I ain't watching that game.
I I'm probably
Must see TV, baby. Luka Doncic. Must see TV.
I'm probably gonna check that out. I can't even front, but we're gonna slide. Y'all be easy.
For sure,
Easy,
man.
baby.